Hello everybody, welcome to IFT 489. If you're taking this class, two things. One, you will have probably had me before. I think that's a good thing. And secondly, this is a focus area class. So you've taken this class voluntarily. This is not a core class, so you should be happy to be here. Okay, that's the first two things. So, I don't really have to introduce myself to you guys. If you're watching this, as I said, you've taken me before either for IFT 259, or some of you may have had me for IFT 358. Some of you could have had me for both, so lucky you. So let's get straight on with this. Again, I've used the same structure with this presentation that I've done for my previous classes, which again, this is the course description. Now this course description isn't exactly true in terms of I've made a big change to this class, a really big change. Last year, this class was 15 weeks on protocols. 15 weeks on protocols. I say that because that was quite long for the students and it was quite long for me. By about week 11, I think we're all kind of wilting a little bit. So I made a change to this course. I went to my boss, Dr. Helm, and I said, Dr. Helm, we need to put some routing into networking. We can't have students leave ASU IT program without some routing. And that's what I've done. So this course has now changed. We're now basically going to do two separate parts of this course. The first part will be on protocols. Some of the protocols you will have heard before, will have done in the 259 or the 35A, and there'll be one or two new protocols that you won't have heard. Well, you might have heard of them, but not gone into too much depth. And then the second part of the course will be programming a router. Yes, we're going to spend about 7 weeks looking at a router. What is a router? How a router works, routing protocols, programming a router, and all the fun things that a router can do. So that's going to be what this course is. So again, this description is not entirely true. It will be changed just probably in the next year or two. Again, special needs, we all know, you should all know the policy at this stage. Go to the DRC, do what you have to do, contact them, they'll contact me, and you'll get the appropriate measures if needs be. I do recommend it. And 1 or 2 years did that last year and it worked fine. I can give a separate extra time for the midterm exam, for the final exam. I think even some labs or something, we maybe give it extra time. That's trickier, and you probably don't need that as much when you're online because you kind of have the whole week to do the labs anyway. So, but you know the procedure. This is the grading structure. Again, now the big thing with this, as you'll see straight away, which is different from my previous networking courses, I've got 18 labs in this one. Okay, so it's worth 50%. Okay, that's the big key thing. A lot of those labs will be on the routing part. I think we've got about 7 labs, I think, on the first section, on the protocol section, and then the last section, the routing, we've got loads of labs, okay? And a lot of those labs, as you know from before with me, is going to be based on packet tracer, especially in the routing section. Again, same structure as before, 2 assignments, 20%. First assignment will be based on the first part and the protocols, and then the second assignment will be based on the routing part. Midterm exam and the final exam, 15% each. And again, you guys had me before. You know the structured exam. I'm not out to try and get you. There's no really nasty questions. It's just, do you know the basic material pretty well? Okay, that's the grading structure. Assignment guidelines, again, exactly the same before. The big key thing is the thing that's highlighted in black. Do not give me a late assignment. Okay, with Blackboard, it's pretty easy to do this. I just put a deadline on Blackboard. I go into Blackboard, I open it up from the instructor view, and I put the due date, the time, and after that point, you can submit it and you can start it. So it's not my fault. Okay, so do not give me a late assignment. You can give it to me, but don't ask me for one. I will not give you extra time. Okay, like before with my classes, you come work ahead as far as you want in the first section. When you log on to this, I'm going to make the first 3 or 4 weeks available to you straight away. I think it's the first 3 weeks in this class where you're going to get all the protocol stuff, all the presentations, the assignment 1 and all the labs. And you can work as fast as you want for those first few weeks. You can either work the rate that I recommend week by week, or you can do the whole lot in a week. It is up to you. Okay? Lab guidelines, same thing. I will not accept a late lab, and not just me, Blackboard won't accept it, and that's the biggest problem you have. Okay? Next key thing is the midterm exam. Now, with previous class that you may have had me, I've kind of done a situation where the midterm will impact what you do in the final exam in terms of the content. Not with this case. This is, in a sense, 2 separate classes in one, so their sections are totally separate. So I'm not going to do that. The midterm exam is only going to be based on the first 7 presentations, and again, it's 50 multiple choice questions in 50 minutes, so it's 1-to-1. And again, if you're in the DRC, please contact me, and I can always then make accommodations, giving you more time, etc. And again, the final exam this time will be on the second, will be on routing. So again, with the midterm was on the protocols section. So again, think of the two sections like that. One is on protocols, one is on routing. Midterm is on protocols, and the final is going to be on routing. We've got 8 presentations for routing. They're quite short, some of them. Some of the presentations are quite short, maybe 20, 25 slides. In the protocols, 1 or 2 of them are a little bit longer, maybe I would say 45 to 50 slides. I just couldn't make them any shorter, okay? As you can see, the final exam is going to be 45 questions in 50 minutes. Okay. Again, same grade instructor as used before. This is ASU standard one. These are our 2 textbooks. Again, like before, they're recommended but not required. If you want to buy course books, I would recommend these 2. They are quite expensive. But again, the TCP book, again, just check online. You know, they may have this available online from a PDF or something, you never know. And the one, this is the networking fundamentals, that's the protocol book, the routing book that we're going to use. Again, both very good books, but again, for my classes, you do not need to buy them if you don't want to, okay? But again, if you do want to have a book, and some students like to have a book, these are the 2 that I would recommend. But again, I'm going to provide you with the presentations, I'm going to provide you with the assignments, I'm going to provide you with the labs. And like before, all my presentations are of many years of my own personal knowledge. They're also of the best of YouTube, best of Google, and anything else I might have heard of from other people along the way. Okay. Again, Blackboard, by now, if you're in a 489 class, a level 400 class, you should be well used to Blackboard. This is the structure that I use, and again, so there's nothing new here. If you're watching the welcome video, you've ticked the first link. Meet the instructor, you should have already known me. If you forget who I am, hit the meet your instructor, quick blurb. The course syllabus is in available 3 forms, PDF, PowerPoint, or in Word if you want. Course schedule, again, you should be keeping your own course schedule, but again, this is just a summarized version of when the labs and the assignments are due. Packet tracer download, most of you should have packet tracer at this stage. The versions in there are versions 5 and 6. You can download version 7. Cisco, I have a 7 now, but they kind of make it a little bit trickier, but it's still free. You just got to sign up for something. You can sign up for it and then not join the training or whatever. It still works fine. Hallway conversations, you know what they are. If you need something immediate from me, please contact me. Remember, this is a 489 class, so every student wants to be in this class. So the level of interest should be higher. So the students in this hallway conversation, they're not forced to be here. So again, you know, reach out to other students in the class, okay? My grades, that's for you guys, and again, the weeks down below is where you're going to find the content. And straight away, when you're here now today watching this video, you're going to see the first 3 or 4 weeks available to you, okay? Once we get past the midterm and finish the protocol section, I'll make the whole lot of the routing section available. Like before, Blackboard is your responsibility. I am not a machine. I will make mistakes. Please just check your Blackboard grades regularly. Okay. Now again, with the assignment, for example, there's only going to be 1 grade to be posted. But when you do your labs, and as I said, there's 18 labs, so there's 18 grades that I have to put separately into the system. Now again, a lot of that will be done manually by the system anyway, but just please check them. Okay. Many of you guys know me, as I said many times in this video already. I don't do 2 things. I don't do extra credit, and I don't do makeup. Okay. Don't ask. I don't do it. Simple. This is what it's going to look like, a rough look at your schedule. So again, as you can see, the first 3 weeks are on the protocols, and there's quite a bit of work in that, I won't lie to you. And some of the protocols you know already. We're going to start off with a bit of protocols, you know, the OSI model, the TCP model, you've done that already. Then we're going to look at the IP model and the TCP model in the first week. In the second week, then we're looking at the ICMP protocol, which some of you may have heard about. Then we look at TCP and UDP in more detail, and then we look at multicasting and IGMP protocols. And then in week 3, we're looking at ATM. Now, ATM isn't in that protocols book, but the thing is, you can't really understand label switching and MPLS without knowing a little bit about ATM, and you'll see the reason for that when you cover both of them. Then the last thing you look at, as I said, is label switching and MPLS. We've got 7 labs in this section, and again, once you get through all these, take the midterm. Once we finish week 3, I'll activate week 4, and as you can see, it is all routing. Loads and loads of labs. Think about 11 labs on routing. Okay, and then again, we're going to have a 2-day stint from what I can know. I think we have a 2 or 3 day area to do the final exam. Okay, and again, as before, the slides are there, and you also got the chapters from the 2 textbooks that is there as well. Now, I hope it's not confusing the way I've done the labs and I've done the presentations. I have numbered them, as you can see, the same. So in the top section with the protocols, it's presentations 1 down to 7, and the labs are 1 to 7. I basically reset it going back to 1 because they are 2 separate sections. So again, Presentation 1 this time will be on the routing section, and the labs will be again numbered from 1 to 11 in this case, okay? But again, there are 2 absolute separate sections. One's on protocols, and then the second one on routing. So again, that's pretty much all I have to say. Like before, look, you know how I work, you know how ASU works, you know how online learning works, you know how Blackboard works. Main thing is, give me a shout if needs be, reach out to other students in the class. Again, this isn't a core class. Okay, this is the 489 class. People have chosen this because they want this to be one of the focus areas, whether it's a primary or secondary, so they want to be here. So again, ask them for help, get their knowledge. A lot of you guys have a lot of knowledge from the real world. Share it. If you've got some articles that you want to put in the hallway conversations, post them. Be nice just to reference them as well. But please share your knowledge. We've got 7 weeks to get through all the routing and a lot of protocols. That's not easy. I've tried to make it as easy as I can with the labs that are structured well, the assignments are structured well. You can work at your own pace. Okay, so look, you know who I am, you know where I am, you know how to contact me. Please enjoy this class. Any questions, please contact me, and let's have some fun, yeah? Thank you.